Okay, so I want to go over these problems on the study guide as an overview. So we've got parabolas, ellipses, and hyperbolas. And I've linked in here some of the videos that I've done before about parabolas and each of the conics. So this will be an additional video, and I'll put the link up top here. But to start off with parabolas, we have parabolas that have the axis of symmetry being vertical, like this. And that's where you have the x squared, or the x being squared. See, you recognize this as a parabola because only one of the variables is squared. In this case, it's the x. Over here, it's the y. Now, when you have the x squared, and you don't see a negative sign, you do this. You get the vertex, which is hk. To get to the focus, you add to the k this amount, p. And to get to the directrix, you subtract from the k. Now, if you have a negative in front, you still get the vertex the same way. You get hk, but now to get to the focus, you're going to subtract. So it's going to be h comma k minus p. To get to the directrix, you add, because now see the line is above. Okay? So that's how you get the three components that we're looking for. Now, if you have the y squared, that means you're opening to the right or to the left. First of all, we'll look at the ones opening to the right. Okay, so here's hk. That's the vertex. We get that just like usual, but the way we get the focus is we add to the x component this time. See, we're going horizontally. To get to the vertical, we subtract, or this vertical line here, this directrix, we subtract from the h. Okay, so remember, if the y is squared, all the action is on the x. We're doing everything to the x. If the x is squared, we're doing everything to the y. Now, let's suppose we have a negative in here, like negative 4 times 5 or something like that. So here we get the vertex, hk, and this time we're subtracting from the h. See, h minus p to get to the focus. So we're subtracting to get to the focus. We're adding to get to the directrix. See, because we're going this way. So there's parabolas. Now, as far as ellipses go, the standard form is this. And we're going to look at the case, first of all, where the number under the x is bigger than the number under the y. If that's the case, we have a major axis is horizontal, like this. And the way we find the components, we do hk, see, just like usual, that's for the center. Then the vertices, we add to the h the square root of a, see, h plus a, comma k, and we subtract from it, h minus a, comma k. The way we get to the foci, we add c to the h and subtract c from the h, and c is just equal to the absolute value of the difference of these values. B squared minus a squared, or a squared minus b squared, whatever will give you the positive. Now, if the bigger number is under the y, then we have the vertical axis is the major axis. We get hk for the center, and then we add to the k. We add the b to get up to the vertex. We subtract the b to get to the other vertex, and we add c to get up to the focus, and subtract c to get to the other focus. And remember, c is this right here. Now, we could also say, well, how do we get to these numbers over here? Okay, well, we could subtract h minus a, if you want to get to these numbers right here, a right here. Okay, So you could do that. Now, hyperbolas, but those aren't the numbers that we've been concerned about. Now, as far as hyperbolas go, we have these two types. Notice here the x term is positive and here the y term is positive. If the x term is positive, you're going to have it looking like this, passing through the x-axis, where the x-axis, the y-axis, it's kind of symmetric about this axis of symmetry here, okay, going down through here. In other words, it looks like a nuclear power plant. That's if the x component is positive. Okay, it looks like a nuclear power plant. I don't know. You can remember that. You think my x works at a nuclear power plant. Maybe that'll help you remember. Okay, so you can say that. That's how you can remember it. Okay. Now, so the x term is positive, so we start here at hk. To get to the vertex, we go over a units. See the square root. And we subtract a units. To get to the foci, we add c units. And we subtract c units. That will give us the foci. And the foci, c is found by the square root of the sum of these two things. Now, if we have the y component, the y term being squared, it opens like this. So now we're going to act on the y's here. So we start at hk. We go up. To get to the vertex, we go up a units, see? And down a units. To get to the foci, we go up c units and down c units. Okay, so now let's look at some of these problems. Here we have the center. We want to find the center of this thing. Well, it's going to be, let's see here, it's going to be -1, -3. Okay, so I'm just going to label that right here. -1, -3. Okay. Now, notice that the number under the y is bigger, so our major axis is going to be vertical. So let me look at the vertices. I've got -1, -3, plus or minus 4. Okay, so I'm going up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there, there's a vertex. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's another vertex. Now, I want to get the foci. The foci is going to be -1, -3, plus or minus c. And c is equal to the square root of 16 minus 4. That's going to be the square root of 12. Okay, which is between, the square root of 16 is 4, the square root of 9 is 3, so it's somewhere between 3 and 4. So I'm just going to estimate here. 1, 2, 3, down here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, here somewhere. Okay. Okay, so there's my foci. So this is that's all the components that you need. Now, if you want to sketch this, one of the things you can do, you don't know how wide to make this thing. Well, you can look at this number right here, this 4. And the square root of that is how far you go to the left. So I go 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so my ellipse looks something like this. Okay, not a very good one. Whoops. Let me see if I can do a better job there. Okay, something like that. Okay, there's your ellipse. Okay, now next we go over here and we've got a parabola. The vertex is going to be -2, -1. And of course this we can look at x plus 2 squared equals 4 times 2 y plus 1. See, that way we can identify the p. Okay, so the focus, so we've got -2, -1. I'll just put it right there. The focus then is going to be -2, -1, plus 2. That means -2, 1. So I go up 1. There's my focus right there. My directrix, I'm going to say, is y equals -1 minus 2, which would be -3. Actually, the way I drew this, you're going up 2. Sorry about that. There we go. We're going up 2. Okay, now we're going down 2 right there. Okay, there it is. Okay, so notice, just to reiterate, this point right here is -2, -1, and this point right here is -2, 1, and this down here is y equals -3. So notice what I've done. From the vertex here, I went up this amount, 2, 1, 2. Okay, and then went down 2. Now, if you want to, I'll just do a real basic sketch here, just to indicate which way this parabola is opening. Okay, now this one's a hyperbola, and we recognize the center to be 1, -2. Okay, so I'm just going to put 1, -2 right there. Okay. And now it's the x component that's being that's positive. It's the x term. Okay, so that tells me I'm going to open like a nuclear power plant. Okay, so it's going to be opening this way. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to say 1 minus 2 and 1 plus 2. Okay, so I just go to the left 2, 1, 2, to the right 2. And I'll just do a little thing like this. Doesn't have to be fancy. Okay, and then we get the foci. The foci is going to be 1 minus c and 1 plus c, where c is equal to the square root of 4 plus 9, which is the square root of 13. So the foci is somewhere out here, actually. Okay. Let's see here. So to the right, I'm going the square root of 13. So square root of 13 is a little less than 4. So let's see here. I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So I guess it's going to be, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere out here. Yeah, somewhere out here. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere a little less than 4. Okay, something like that. Okay, so this one right here, it has a center of 2, -3. And this time, notice I could divide by 4, but this is just, that would just give me x minus 2 squared over 4 plus y plus 3 squared over 4 equals 1. Well, that is a circle. So with a circle, you've got 2, -3 right there, and I go up 2, down 2, to the right 2, and to the left 2. I've just got a nice circle there. There we go. So that's what that is. Okay. So if that's what happens when you have the coefficients to be the same, or when you have the denominators to be exactly the same. You get a circle. Okay, now we've got one thing squared, the x squared. So this tells us, since there's no y squared in there, I'm thinking this is a parabola. So I need to complete the square, because this is not of the form that I'm accustomed to. So I bring the y to the other side, and now here's what I want to do. I want to take half of that, square it. I had a 16 there. I need to add a 16 squared to the other side. And then I get this. X plus 4 squared equals 4 times y plus 4. See, I factored out the 4. So now I have it of the form x plus 4 squared equals 4 times 1 y plus 4. And you can see that the p is the 1. So now I get this. I get negative 4, comma, negative 4. The focus, see, so here's negative 4, negative 4. I'm going to go up 1, negative 4, negative 4. I'm going to go up 1 from there and down 1 for the directrix. And it's going to look like this. But to be specific, the focus is going to be negative 4, comma, negative 4 plus 1. That's negative 4, 3. Actually, negative 3. And this down here is y equals negative 5. Because it's negative 4 minus 1. Okay, now let's go down here. Number 6, this one we've got an x squared and a y squared. They're both the same sign. They're both positive, so that tells me I've probably got an ellipse. So I'm going to group my x's together. Okay, so there that is, plus 4y squared minus 18, minus 24y that is, equals negative 9. Okay, so now I'm going to factor out the 9. Factor out the 4. And now I complete the square. So I'm going to take half of this and square it. So I added a 9. So I've got to add a 9 over here. And the reason we say I added a 9 is because it's a 1 and a 9. See, I multiplied by what I multiplied the 9 by what I put in the parentheses. Now over here we've got negative 3 squared is 9. So this is going to be a 36. Okay. So now let's see what we've got here. We've got 9 times x minus 1 squared plus 4 times y minus 3 equals 36. Now I need a 1 over here instead of the 36, so I'm going to divide by 36, and I get x minus 1 squared over 4 plus y minus 3 squared over 9. See? Because 4 over 36 reduces to 1/9. And 9 over 36 reduces to 1/4. Okay. So now I'm ready to go. I've got my center, which is 1, 3. So I'm just going to put it here, 1, 3. Now, the bigger number is under the y. So I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, and down 3, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go left and right 2 because of this thing. And I'll go ahead and sketch my ellipse. There we go. Now I'll label the parts, the vertices. So I've got 1, 3, 3 minus 3, and 1 comma 3 plus 3. Okay, so this up here is 1 comma 6, and this down here is 1 comma 0. And now the foci, let's see what the foci are. So I've got 1 comma, let's see here, C is going to be equal to the square root of 9 minus 4, which is the square root of 5. So I'll do 3 plus or minus square root of 5. Let's just do that. Okay. Now the next one, we've got a hyperbola. And to put this in the form that we're accustomed to, I'll just do this. I'll divide by 16. Now notice the x is what's positive. We've got 0, 0, so I'll just put 0, 0 here. I'm going to go plus or minus 4 for the vertices. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So it's going to look something like this. And then the foci, let's see here, that's going to be plus or minus, well, look, we've got this. We've got 16 plus 16. That's the square root of 32. So plus or minus square root of 32, comma 0. There we go. Okay, and it all came from the origin there. Now this next one is looks like a parabola, so we want to complete the square with this one. So I've got x squared minus 6x equals, move everything else to the other side, equals 20y plus 31. Okay, so I'm going to complete the square. I take half of this and square it. Okay. Add that to both sides. And now on the left, I get x minus 3 squared equals 20y plus 40. I can factor out a 20. Yeah, there I have. Now I just rewrote 20 as 4 times 5. Okay, so now I get the center, the vertex is going to be 3 comma negative 2. I'll just put it right here. And now from there, this is a parabola opening up. From there, we're going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the focus. And then down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, barely had enough room. Okay. So this right here is 3, negative 2. I'll just do a little sketch there. And then for the focus, we have 3, negative 2, plus 5. And the directrix, y equals negative 2 minus 5. Okay. Now this next one is got the y squared, so we're thinking it opens to the right or to the left. It could open to the left. I don't know yet, but let's see. So I'm going to complete the square. Gather my y's together. And this is 12x plus 44. Okay, so I'm going to take half of the 4, square it. And now I get y plus 2 squared equals 12 plus 48. Okay, so now I have y plus 2 squared, and I'm going to factor out that's 12x, by the way. So I'm factoring out the 12, so I get x plus 4. Yeah, 4 times 12, 48. Okay, now we can get the vertex. The vertex is negative 4, negative 2. So let me put that here, negative 4, negative 2. Now the focus, I'm going to, here's what I've got. I've got 4 times 3, x plus 4. So I'm going to go 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3. There's the focus. The directrix, 1, 2, 3. Here's the directrix. Okay. So the focus, negative 4 plus 3, negative 2. Okay. And the directrix, x equals negative 4 minus 3. Okay, and so this parabola opens like this. Okay, now we'll look at the last one, number 10. We've got, this looks like an ellipse because we've got 3x squared plus 6y squared, but it's not the form we want, so I'm going to divide through by 12. Because I wanted a 1 on the other side. Now this gives me x squared over 4 plus y squared over 2. Okay, so let's see here. The center is 0, 0. That's our favorite. Okay, so I would just put a 0, 0 here. Now as far as the vertices go, notice that the bigger number is under the x. So this thing is going to be, it's going to have horizontal axis. So this is going to be plus or minus 2, comma 0. So I'm going to go over 2 and back 2. Okay, and then the foci is going to be plus or minus the square root of, let's see here, 6. See, because c is equal to the square root of 4 plus 2. Now, as far as sketching this, to get to how far this way we go and how far this way we go to get the sketch, well, the number under here is 2, so we would go the square root of 2 up and the square root of 2 down. Well, the square root of 2 up is, about 1.5. It's like 1.4 or something like that. So it's going to look something like this. There we go. But we don't want to focus on that too much. Pun intended, focus. Okay. So there's how you work each one of these problems. Now, if there's a particular one that you're having trouble with, just email me or get in touch with me and say, number 6, for example, or number 5, whatever you're having trouble with. And I'll send you some more practice.